Good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles. Thank you so much for joining me today. Give me a little bit of your time. Today I want to talk a little bit about parasocial relationships as well as some other oddball curiosities that I fell across that I just had to share. Before the advent of the internet and social media, people formed parasocial relationships with celebrities and public figures through traditional media outlets such as television, radio and magazines. And that was kind of about it for us. Of course, I'm going back a few moons now. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where one person feels a strong emotional connection with someone they do not personally know, such as a celebrity or public figure. These relationships are often developed through the media where fans become attached to the personas portrayed by these individuals. In the past, fans developed parasocial relationships through traditional media such as television shows and movies. The actors and actresses who portrayed their favourite characters became the focus of their affection. Fans would tune in every week to watch their favourite shows and they would purchase magazines and memorabilia to feel closer to their favourite actors. I had completely forgotten about how people used to be really crazy about different bands and famous people, and they would really fantasize openly about how much they loved them and just knew that they were going to marry them one day. And of course, I was very, very young and at the time didn't really think too much of it. And it's only since I started thinking about this parasocial relationship business, I thought, wow, some people were really seriously into it. And by the way, this is a request from one of our listeners on Jar of Marbles, Casey, who asked if I would talk a little bit about the parasocial relationship. So music also played a significant role in the development of parasocial relationships. Fans would attend concerts and follow their favourite musicians, their careers, often feeling a deep emotional connection to the lyrics of their songs. Like they were singing it personally to them. Oh, I think you might be right there, Bob. Sports figures also formed parasocial relationships with fans. Fans would idolise their, athletes and follow their careers closely, feeling a sense of pride and connection to their favourite teams. However, these parasocial relationships were limited in scope and intensity compared to those formed through the internet and social media. Fans were limited to interacting with their favourite celebrities through traditional media, and they had little to no personal contact with them. In contrast, the internet and social media have completely transformed the nature of these parasocial relationships. With the rise of social media platforms such as Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, fans can now directly interact with their favourite celebrities and public figures. Fans can follow their favourite celebrities on social media and engage with their posts through likes and comments and shares. Celebrities can also use social media to connect with their fans, sharing personal details about their lives and careers and what moisturiser they're using this week. The internet and social media have also made it easier for fans to connect with each other, forming online communities centred around their favourite celebrities. And these online communities provide a space for fans to share their thoughts and feelings about, how they feel about their celebrity, creating a sense of belonging and community. In conclusion to this aspect of it, they existed before the internet and social media, but they were limited in scope. And so what's happening on the platforms now is allowing still to a larger degree these one-sided emotional connections with their favourite celebrities. Social media has transformed parasocial relationships into interactive, two-sided relationships to a degree that are a little bit more intense and personal than ever before. While social relationships can have positive effects on individuals, such as providing a sense of companionship and reducing feelings of loneliness, they can also have negative consequences, particularly when the relationship becomes obsessive or pathological. And one of the most significant negative consequences of parasocial relationships is the potential for the individual to become detached from reality. When an individual becomes too invested in a parasocial relationship, they may start to prioritise the needs and desires of the media figure over their own. This can lead to a disconnect from their real life relationships and responsibilities, resulting in and social isolation, neglect of personal hygiene, and even loss of employment. Now, of course, that's really extreme, but even stepping away from parasocial relationships, if you've noticed that over the years, whether it's been yourself or you've noticed it in others, if someone's met someone new and they've got their phone in their hand all the time and they're there to answer to every message, and suddenly, you're just sitting with someone who's having this other whole conversation with someone else because it's the new man or the new girl or whoever it is, and it's sort of, you're watching them going, can't you even be a little bit mysterious? I mean, like, do you have to answer immediately? I mean, do you have to? Yes, you do, Bob. Apparently you do. Apparently that's the rule. And it is big business where you can have the celebrity skincare, perfume, clothes and jewellery, protein, drink. Here's a list of some that I found that have serious merch business attached to their careers. Lady Gaga, just for merch alone, US 15.8 million. Justin Bieber is 5.6 million US. Shawn Mendes, 4.8 million. US, Beyonce, 3.5 million, and with about 22.9 million of earnings from merchandise sales, Harry Styles takes the top spot in this group. I'll just say thank you for you, Harry. All right? Okay, thank you, good. Then there's endorsements with Billie Eilish and Nike. LeBron James, the athlete, makes in the vicinity of $90 million in endorsements. Beyonce, Samsung and American Express, and for motor company, just to name a few. The endorsements of perfume and fragrances with a famous face attached is commonplace now, whereas back in the day for me, you might have seen something like that in a magazine, but I can't actually remember. It was just, it was just a very different world. Marilyn Monroe's very public confession that all she wore to bed was a few drops of Chanel No. 5 has naturally cemented the scent firmly in the fragrance history books. But what about the gorgeous perfumes worn by other favourite icons? And what perfumes have ensnared the noses of modern-day stars like Rihanna or Salma Hayek? Worn by the Princess Diana on her wedding day, but made in France, 24 Faubourg. Opium is worn by Heidi Klum, Emily Blunt and Salma Hayek, who call it their signature perfume. It's a long-standing internet rumour that Rihanna smells amazing. Since then, everyone has been clamouring to find out her signature scent, and yet another example of how far people will go to smell as amazing as Rihanna. The perfume is Kilian Paris Love. Don't be shy. I'm shy. I know, Bob. But it can go too far when a fan believes that if the celebrity met them, they would be in a real relationship together. It can get dangerous. And I think we call that stalking. The stalker becomes obsessed after a brief encounter or something he sees in the media. He engages in a pattern of behaviour in an attempt to make the celebrity aware of his or her existence. Celebrity stalkers over-identify with the victim and have a desire, maybe unconsciously, to be that person. The behaviour causes the victim to feel harassed, threatened and fearful. The celebrity stalker might have a psychotic attachment to the victim, seeking the fame or wealth that the celebrity enjoys and that they feel that they should be enjoying as well. Social relationships can provide a sense of belonging to those who may feel maybe a little lonely or isolated. For example, a person who's going through a difficult time may find comfort in following a celebrity's life or a fictional character story, and this connection can provide a sense of community and connection with others who also share the same interest. We have similar interests. Are you my parasocial friend? We are social, yes, Bob. No para here. I don't get it. Listen on, Bob. You will. I think it's a very interesting subject, especially when you can relate to, even from a movie point of view, Elvis. When Elvis, the movie came out, it really got me thinking about how he got caught up in a world and wasn't really looked after properly behind the scenes, even though on stage he was just incredible, what an amazing entertainer. So from a perspective of once upon a time in the vibrant world of music, there lived a legend known as Elvis Presley. He had a mesmerising voice, infectious charm, and I guess what you could say, an electrifying stage presence, captivating millions around the globe. Elvis was just more than just an entertainer, though, wasn't he? He was a cultural phenomenon, an icon who had the power to inspire and touch the hearts of people far and wide. I mean, once he got those hips going, then, it was evil and it was all these things. But in relation to where the world was at, it was like nothing anybody had ever seen. A man in a pink suit with eye makeup, but he was way ahead of his time in terms of, what's perfectly acceptable now. And in the realm of people's imaginations, countless women and men formed these special bonds with Elvis, and they would listen to his records and they'd watch his movies and buy magazines with, his posters in it and fantasize about being in Elvis's presence. These fans felt an inexplicable connection with the king of rock and roll, despite never having met him in person. It was a parasocial relationship, a unique bond that transcended reality. And back in the day, there was nothing like that. And that's why women and men, young women and young men, were fainting in the crowds, because it was just way too exciting for them. And when I watched the movie for the first time, I really understood it. I hadn't really taken much notice, and from that perspective, it was a really good movie just to see how utterly different and very powerful he was. And so many people, millions of people, would have had their own thoughts and imagination and fantasies around Elvis. And of course, not everybody were fans, but, a lot of people were. So these stories were just a few among millions, each person's parasocial relationship with Elvis taking on a life of its own. In their hearts, he was a friend, a confidant, and a source of unwavering inspiration, romance. Their connection with him fueled their passions, allowing them to dream bigger, love deeper, and express themselves in ways that they probably never thought possible. And I can really understand it more, as I say, after watching the movie. And Elvis himself may never have known the full extent of the impact he had on the lives of these fans, but his music and his spirit has the power, or had the power, I should say, to transcend time and distance, reaching into the deepest recesses of their souls. And he really had amazing energy on stage and charisma, and I just thought he was, quite amazing, especially when you put it against a template of the times back then. And so the parasocial relationship between Elvis and his adoring fans continued to blossom, weaving a tapestry of hope, inspiration and love that would endure for generations to come. In fact, then you've got your Elvis impersonators. I mean, that's also really quite interesting. I mean, long after Elvis passed in 1977, his influence continues to resonate, and his iconic image has inspired countless individuals to become Elvis impersonators. These talented performers that take on the persona of Elvis Presley, emulating the style, mannerisms and vocal prowess in an effort to pay homage to the legendary entertainer. Elvis impersonators can be found in various corners of the world, from small towns to big cities, and they all come from diverse backgrounds. Some are actually professional entertainers who specialise in Elvis tribute acts. I'm saying this because it wasn't so long ago that I found out about that, and I didn't even know that was a thing, but there you go. Obviously, I've been living under a rock. And so others are just devoted fans who have honed their skills to recreate the magic of Elvis on stage, and these impersonators can be seen performing in a wide range of events, including concerts, festivals, casinos and private parties. So one notable aspect of the Elvis impersonator phenomenon is the existence of competitions and contests dedicated solely to honouring the king. These competitions bring together some of the most talented impersonators from around the world, providing them with a platform to showcase their skills and compete for recognition for privacy. Compete for recognition and prizes. One of the most prestigious Elvis impersonator competitions is the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest, organised by Elvis Presley Enterprises, held annually in Memphis, Tennessee during Elvis Week. This event attracts Elvis enthusiasts from all over the globe. Contestants are judged for not only on their vocal ability, but also on their stage presence, costumes, and overall authenticity and capturing the essence of Elvis. Now, besides the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest, many other regional and international competitions exist. The Images of the King competition in Memphis and the European Elvis Championships held in the United Kingdom are two examples of popular contests that draw a considerable number of Elvis impersonators. Quite amazing, isn't it? Human beings never fail to amaze me. No, they don't. No, they really? That's right. No, they don't, Bob, truly.
I'm in a complicated relationship with a fictional character.
Well, actually, no, I don't think you are, Bob. I think I might be.
But seriously, there's all sorts of phobias, isn't there?
There actually are, Bob. I had a little look before and it's quite interesting. There's a phobophobia, which is the fear of developing a phobia, and there's euphobia, which is the fear of hearing good news. And then there's another one that's electorophobia, which is the fear of chickens. There's churophobia, the fear of cheese. There's a couple of other interesting ones as well. The olophobia, the fear of flutes, ombrophobia, the fear of rain, and there's the hippopotamonostrosis quibble. Oh, forget it. It's got something like 17 syllables in it. Anyway, it's the fear of long words. Ironically, the name of this phobia is a really long word. I've never seen such a long word. I'm just going to give a little go at it. Just hold on. Hippopotomonstrosis quipedaliophobia. Yep, it's a pretty long word. Then there's ombrophobia, which is the fear of rain. I have heard of this before. Not the name, but I have heard of this phobia is anatidaphobia, which is the fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you. And there's a couple of others here, but I just think they're just worth mentioning because so utterly different. The genophobia, which is the fear of knees. There's pogonophobia, which is the fear of beards. And arachibutyrophobia, I know, beautifully pronounced, I know, the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of the mouth. I think it is amazing how unusual and uncommon some phobias can be. And it's important to note that while these phobias may sound unusual or humorous, they can cause significant distress and anxiety for individuals who experience them, which, I certainly do respect that. We humans, we really are we're a social bunch, and sometimes we take it a step further by forming imaginary connections with celebrities, fictional characters. It's like we've invented a new category of relationships where the other party is blissfully unaware of our existence. Talk about a one-sided love affair. Now, you might be wondering, what's the harm in a little harmless daydreaming? Well, the problem arises when we actually start to believe that these relationships are real. You've crossed the line when you start rearranging your furniture to make room for your cardboard cutout of Ryan Gosling, or when you find yourself arguing with your TV because your favourite sports team lost again. I mean, who would argue with the TV over sports, really? Trust me, I've been there, and it's a slippery slope, my friends. But let's not dwell on the potentially crazy aspects of parasocial relationships. Instead, let's embrace the absurdity and have a good chuckle together. I mean, who needs real friends when you have a cast of imaginary characters characters who make you laugh, cry and swoon all at once.
Do you have any imaginary friends?
No, I don't think so, Bob. And isn't that a relief? I mean, who wants to explain why they ate an entire bag of potato chips in one sitting?
Well, you might have shared them with me.
Me, I might have, Bob. That's exactly right. I like that you're there just to, pull it all in together for me. Protect me a little bit. Yes. In the grand scheme of things, parasocial relationships are just a quirky reminder of our human nature. They provide a temporary escape from reality and give us a chance to explore different facets of our personalities.
Do you need to examine other aspects of your personality?
No, I don't, Bob. Would you just stop coming in and making me feel like I'm in a parasocial relationship with you or something like that? Let's just remember, can we keep it light?
Yeah, keep it light.
Keep it funny.
Keep it funny.
And keep it in check. Bob.
Okay.
Hey, if you ever find yourself arguing with your favourite fictional character, at least you'll know who's got the last laugh. Everyone else in the room. So, my dear listeners, let's raise a toast to the weird and wonderful world of parasocial relationships. May they forever remind us of the power of our imagination and the importance of keeping our feet somewhat grounded in reality. Yes, I think that's a great idea. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, no. Thank you.
Is that the phone? We've got a phone?
Yeah, that's a Jar of Marbles hotline, Bob.
Oh, okay. Can I answer it?
No, not today. Jar of Marbles hotline. Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Well, that was the producer just ringing to let us know that we're heading towards overtime.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Since when we had a producer?
Well, since when have we had a phone? But anyway, as our time together does draw to a close, Bob, I did want to take a moment to reflect on our discussions about parasocial relationships. It's been a fascinating journey exploring this phenomenon, and I am grateful for the opportunity to have shared it with you all, and thanking Casey again once more for asking me to talk about it. And I hope that it measured up. I hope that you found it enjoyable, Casey. But now our journey comes to an end, and it looks like, it just comes around so quickly, doesn't it? And as I bid thee farewell, I want to thank you for joining me on this exploration of parasocial relationships. It has been an honour to embark on this journey with you. And as we part ways, I wish you all the best in your continued growth, understanding and pursuit of meaningful connections. Farewell, dear listeners, and may your lives be enriched with genuine human connections that bring joy, love and fulfilment. So say good day to the family for me, and remember to pat the snail, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye.